Good morning, students. Today we will read the fifth chapter of your book Moments. The name of the chapter is The Happy Prince. It is written by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was born in 1854 and died in 1900. He was an Irish born English poet, novelist, and playwright. He was the leader of aesthetic movement that advocated art for art's sake. Dear students, before starting the lesson, let us see the small introduction of the lesson. The story is about a prince. When the prince was alive, he was very happy. After his death, a big statue of his was erected on a pedestal. From there, the statue of prince could see the entire city. And at that time, he saw the miseries of the people. He saw the poor people, the homeless, and their hunger and starvation. After that, the prince was sad to see all these miseries and sadness of the people. So, in this chapter, we will study the story of this happy prince. Dear students, this story is based on the theme that love and sacrifice are most important values in human life, and happiness comes to those who make others happy. It also highlights that inner beauty is more important than outward beauty. So, let us start the lesson to know more about this happy prince and his good deeds. The happy prince was a beautiful statue. He was covered with gold. He had spires for his eyes and a ruby in his sword. Why did he want to part with all the gold that he had and his precious stones? Let us find out. High above the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the happy prince. He was gilded, means covered all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes he had two bright spires, and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. Hilt means handle of the sword. Here spire means a transparent precious stone that is typically blue in color. Ruby, a precious red colored stone. And hilt here is handle of the sword. So the writer says that the statue of the happy prince stood on a high platform overlooking the city. The prince was called Happy Prince when he was alive. He always remained very happy. After his death, a big statue of his was erected in the center of the city in his remembrance, and it was covered with a thin layer of gold. And instead of eyeballs, there were two bright shining firestone, and in the handle of his sword, a bright ruby stone was placed. Then what happened? One night, one night there flew over the city a little swallow. Swallow means a tiny bird. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind. Then he decided to go to Egypt too. Here, students, you can see that he and his is used for the swallow bird, and we always use he and his for the human beings. So the writer says that all the friends of this swallow bird had flown away to Egypt 6 weeks ago, and this bird did not go. This bird did not go with them, and later on he thought of going to Egypt. So he wanted to meet his friends. So he started flying, and he was on his way to Egypt. Then what happened? All the day long he flew, and at night time he arrived at the city. Where shall I put up? Put up means to live for the night, to stay for the night. He said, here is the bird. I hope the town has made preparations. Then he saw the statue of the tall column on the tall column. I will put up there, he cried. It is a fine position and plenty of fresh air, with plenty of fresh air. So he alighted means descended just between the feet of the happy prince. So the bird kept on flying to his way to Egypt, and at night time it reached in the city. This bird reached in the city of the happy prince, and he wanted to stay there. He wanted to put up there for the night, and he thought upon where to stay that night, and he thought that he hoped that the city has made some arrangements for him. Obviously he is humorous. He is creating humor when he is saying that city had made some preparation for him. Nobody knew that the bird was coming, and nobody had made any preparation for the bird. So after that, he saw the statue of the happy prince. Then he thought that he should stay there for the night, and he thought that it was the good place to spend that night, and there was a shelter and a lot of fresh air was also there. So he came down, he descended there, and he sat in between the feet of that happy prince. Then what he said, I have a golden red bedroom, he said softly to himself as he looked round. So, as you know, that statue was covered with the layer of gold. So, everywhere there was gold and gold. So, bird thought that it was the golden bedroom. When the bird sat between the feet of the happy prince, it was surrounded with gold. So, he thought that he had a bedroom made of gold. As he was about to sleep, what happened? And he prepared to go to sleep, but just as he was putting his head under his wings, a large drop of water fell on him. What a curious thing, he cried. There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it is raining. Then another drop fell. So when he was about to sleep, he was preparing to sleep. A large drop of water fell on him. The bird was surprised, and because all of a sudden a drop of water fell on it, he thought that there was not the rainy season, and he thought that there was no cloud and the stars were also shining, and he was thinking all these things, that it was not a rainy season and the stars were also shining, sky was clear. Just then another drop of water fell on the swallow. What is the use of statue if it cannot keep the rain off? He said. I must look for a good chimney pot, and he determined to fly away. But before he had opened his wings, a third drop fell, and he looked up and saw. Ah, what did he see? So the swallow thought that the statue was useless because it was not able to protect him from the rain. So he thought that he should not sleep under the statue, and it was better if he took shelter in the chimney of any house. And he thought to move away, but because the statue was not able to protect him from the rain, so before he flew away from there, the third drop of water fell on him, and then what happened? He looked up. What did he see then? Let us see. What did he see? The eyes of the happy prince were filled with tears. The tears were running down his golden cheeks. The face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. So what happened? As soon as the bird looked up, he saw that the eyes of the happy prince were filled with the tears. Those drops of water were the tears falling from the golden cheeks of that statue. When the swallow looked at the happy prince, it was looking very beautiful in moonlight, because it was made of gold, and it was covered with gold, and it was moonlight, so the golden color looked very beautiful in the moonlight. So statue's face was looking very beautiful. The little bird's heart felt pity on the statue, and after that, what did he do? Who are you? He said. The bird said that who he was. I am the happy prince. The statue replied that he was the happy prince. Why are you weeping then? Asked the swallow. You have quite drenched me. Drenched means soaked with water or made wet. So the swallow thought that the statue of the happy prince was crying. He saw that a happy prince of statue of the happy prince was crying, weeping. Then he asked the happy prince what was his name. Then he told that he was the happy prince. Then the bird told him that that statue had soaked him with his tears. He had made him wet. After that, what happened? When I was alive and had a human heart, answered the statue, I did not know what tears were, for I lived in the palace where sorrow is not allowed to enter. My courtiers called me the happy prince, and happy indeed I was. So I lived, and so I died. So the happy prince narrated his story. He told the swallow that when he was alive, he had a human heart, and that time he was not aware what tears were and what sorrow was, as he lived in a palace and where there were always happiness and happiness were all around, and all people used to work in the court who used to work in the court used to call him Happy Prince, because he used to be happy all the time and he had not seen sorrow at all. Then he said that he lived happily and died in happiness. After that, he told that, and now that I am dead, they have set me up here so high that I can see the ugliness and all the misery of the city. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep. Then he told the swallow that when he was dead, when he died, they put him so high in the form of statue on a pedestal, and then he could see the whole city and he could see the ugliness of the city. He could see that there were miseries in the miseries means lack of food, hunger and money, homelessness, etc. Now when the statue's heart was made of lead, a metal, although it did not have this, his heart did not have any human feelings. Still, he could feel the sufferings of the people. He could see the suffering of the people, and he did not have any choice, but he could weep only. What is he not solid gold? Said the swallow to himself. He was too polite to make any personal remarks. When the statue was telling his story, the bird was thinking something else. He was thinking that he was thinking something else. He wondered that the statue of the Happy Prince was made of solid gold or not solid gold. He thought that outside of the statue was covered with gold and heart was made of lead, and he saw that the statue was sad and crying, so he did not make any personal remark. The swallow did not make any personal remark. He did not comment because he was giving the values to the tears of that Happy Prince. Then Happy Prince is speaking now. What he said, see, far away, continued the statue in a low musical voice. Far away in a little street there is a poor house. One of the windows is open, and through it I can see a woman seated at a table. Her face is thin and worn, and she has coarse means rough red hands, all pricked by the needle, for she is a seamstress. Seamstress means a woman who makes a living by sewing. The statue continued his story, spoke in a very musical voice. He said that far away there was a house of a poor woman, and the window of that house was open, and he could see through that window that a woman was sitting at the table, and her face was thin and worn, tired, and her hands were rough and red because they had been pricked by the needle, and that woman was a seamstress. After that, he said that she is embroidering flowers on a certain gown. Certain means that stuff of a cloth for the loveliest of the queen's maid of honor to wear at the next court ball. In a bed in the corner of the room, her boy is lying ill. He has fever, and is asking his mother to give him oranges. His mother has nothing to give him but river water, but he is crying, swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword hilt? My feet are fastened to this pedestal and I cannot move. Here is the statue of the prince. So he said that that woman was embroidering flowers on the gown of queen's maid who would walk along with the queen during the court ball. After that, he said that the lady had a little child who was not well, who was suffering from fever, and was asking to give him oranges. His mother was very poor. He had no money. He could only give him water, and that water is of river water, and that's why the boy was crying. So the statue requested him to take out the ruby stone from the handle of his sword and give it to that poor lady. Then he said that he felt his statue's feet were fastened to the platform because of that he was not able to move. He could not move, so he requested the swallow bird to take the ruby stone from the handle of the sword and give it to the poor women. I am waited for in Egypt, said the swallow. My friends are flying up and down the Nile and talking to the large lotus flowers. Soon they will go to sleep. Then the swallow opposed the request of the prince and said that he did not, he could not go because he wanted to go to Egypt. His friends were waiting there. He said that his friends were flying near the Nile River and talking to the large lotus flowers and which grew there. And soon they would go to sleep, and so he wanted to reach Egypt at the earliest. The prince asked the swallow to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. The boy is so thirsty and the mother so sad, he said. So the king requested the swallow to stay with him for one night and asked him to be his messenger and work on his behalf. He said that the boy was thirsty and his mother was poor, so he requested him to stay with him for one night. Then what the swallow said that I don't think I like boys, answered the swallow. I want to go to Egypt. Then the swallow said that he did not like boys, so why should he help that boy? Moreover, he wanted to go to Egypt. But the happy prince looked so sad, and the little swallow was sorry. It is very cold here, he said, but he agreed to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. After that, Happy Prince was so sad that the swallow felt very sorry for him, and he said that it was very cold there, but he would stay with him for one night, and the next morning he would do his work, and the Happy Prince thanked him. Thank you, little swallow, said the prince. Prince thanked the swallow. Then what happened? The swallow picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roofs of the town. He passed by the cathedral. Cathedral means church tower, where the white marble angels was sculptured. He passed by the palace and heard the sound of the dancing. A beautiful girl came out on the balcony with her lover. Finally, the swallow took out the ruby from the sword, and he took the ruby in his beak and flew over to the town. As he was flying on his way, uh, on his way he passed the church tower. Then he reached the palace. He crossed the palace, and he could hear the dancing sound of dancing from inside the palace. Then when the swallow was passing, then he saw a girl came out on the balcony with her lover. Then what happened? I hope my dress will be ready in time for the state ball. She said, I have ordered flowers to be embroidered on it, but the seamstresses are so lazy. Here the speaker is the girl who is standing in the balcony with her lover. He was saying that she was hoping that the gown which she had given to the seamstress for embroidery would be ready on time, and she was talking about the same gown on which the poor lady was doing embroidery, to whom the little bird had to give that ruby stone. Then he passed over the river and saw the lantern hanging on the mast of the ships. At last he came to the poor woman's house and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly on his bed, and the mother was fallen asleep. She was so tired. In he hopped and laid the great ruby on the table beside the woman's thimble. Then he flew gently round the bed, fanning the boy's forehead with his wings. How cool I feel, said the boy. I must be getting better. And he sank into delicious slumber. Slumber means sleep. Must means sail on the ship. When the swallow flew over the river, ship also he came along the way, and after that he saw lanterns that were hanging on the sails. Finally, the swallow reached in the women's house. The boy was suffering from fever there, and he saw that he was tossing. He was not able to sleep. He was turning left and right on his bed, and his mother was also tired due to work, so she had fallen asleep. Here, thimble means a metal or plastic cap with closed ends that is worn to protect the finger and push the needle in swing. So the swallow kept the ruby on the table near that thimble, women's thimble. And then what did he do? He put the ruby on the table. Then what did he do? He went near went near the boy, and as his mother was sleeping, and nobody was there to take care of that boy, so the bird shook his wings. He went near him and shook his wings. He flapped his wings, because of which the boy could feel the cool air, and he felt better, and he went to sleep. So it this shows that the bird was very kind-hearted, because he not only put the ruby at the table, but also he tried to give relief to the boy because his mother was sleeping. Then what happened? Then the swallow flew back to the prince and told him what he had done. It is curious, he remarked, but I feel quite warm now, although it is so cold. Then the swallow flew back to the prince and went to the statue of the prince, and he told whatever he had done. Then now the bird felt warm. He said that it is very strange that he was feeling warm even though weather was very cold. Then what the prince said, that is because you have done a good action, said the prince, and the little swallow began to think, and then fell asleep. Thinking always made him sleepy. The prince said that it was he was feeling warm because he had done a good deed, he had helped someone. Then he listened the prince, and he started thinking, and after that he felt sleepy because thinking always made him sleepy. After that, what happened? When day broke, he flew down to the river and had a bath. Tonight I go to Egypt, said the swallow, and he was in high spirits at the prospect. Prospect means thought of something. So what happened? Next morning the swallow went to the river and took a bath, and he thought that at that night she would reach to Egypt. She would reach Egypt, and he was very happy. And what did he do? He visited all the monuments and sat a long time on top of the church steeple. Steeple means high tower of the church. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. Have you any commissions for Egypt? He cried. I am just starting. So the bird visited all the monuments of the city, and finally he went to the high tower of the church. And when it was night, the moon rose in the sky. The swallow went to the happy prince again, and he sought the permission to leave the Egypt. He wanted to leave for the Egypt. Then what happened? What the prince said, swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you stay with me one night longer? Now again the prince requested the swallow to stay with him for one more night, and swallow replied that I am waited for in Egypt, answered the swallow. Swallow replied that his friends were waiting for him. He wanted to go to Egypt. Then the prince continued the story. He said that swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, far away across the city I see a young man in a garret. Garret means a small dark room at the top of a house. He said that far away across the city I see a young man in a garret. He is leaning over the desk covered with papers, and in the glass by his side there is bunch of withered violets. His hair is brown and crisp, and his lips are red as pomegranate, and he has large dreamy eyes, and he is trying to finish a play for the director of the theatre, but it is too cold to write anymore. There is no fire in his grate, and hunger has made him faint. So he said to this swallow that at the top of the house he could see a dark small room, and at the top of the house a young man is sitting. In that room a young man is sitting, and he was sitting on a desk on which papers are spread and all over, and he was trying to do hard work. He was writing something. He had a glass lying near him with the withered flowers, and he said that his hair are crisp and brown, and it means that he had not taken bath for a long time. His lips were also red, and he had big dreamy eyes. That means that the boy was very ambitious, that writer was very ambitious and hardworking. And further he said that this boy needed to finish his writing. He is writing a play and he wanted to finish it. He was a writer and he had to give that play to the director after writing, but he did not have strength to write anymore because he was feeling very cold. The boy had no money, that writer had no money. That's why there was no fire in his fireplace. Great means fireplace. And he was hungry, and due to hunger he was feeling very weak and he was not able to write. Then what happened? I will wait with you. I will wait with you one night longer, said the swallow, who really had a good heart. He asked if he should take another ruby to the young playwright. So the swallow understood what the prince was saying. So he knew that he wanted that he should help him. So he agreed to stay back for one night more. He further asked the prince that if he should take another ruby stone to give it to the young playwright as he had given to that poor lady. Then prince replied that, alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. My eyes are all that I have left. They are made of rare sapphires, which was brought to India 1,000 years ago. So the prince said that he was very sad, and he said that he did not have any more ruby stone with him. He said that now he had his eyes, which were made of very precious and rare sapphire stones, and which had been brought thousands years ago. After that, he said that he ordered the swallow to pluck out one of them and take it to the playwright. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play, he said. Then he ordered the swallow to pluck one of them and from his eyes and then take it to the give it to the playwright. The swallow was very sad. What he said that, swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I commanded you. So swallow was not did not want to take the fire from his eyes, so he started crying. He told the prince that he could not do that, but the prince said that he ordered that do whatever he had told to him. So finally what he do, so the swallow plucked out the prince's eyes and flew away to the young man's garret. Garret means that small dark room at the top of the house. So the uh, swallow plucked out the fire from his eyes and flew to the young man's garret. So the swallow flew away, and it was easy enough to get in, as there was a hole in the roof through that he darted. Darted means pushed himself inside and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hand, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. When he looked up, he found the beautiful spire lying on the withered violets. There was a hole on the roof of that garret, so the swallow entered in the room through that hole. That writer was sleeping, his head in his head was in his hands, and that's why he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. So when he looked up and he saw the spire lying near those dried flowers, he became very happy. What he said, I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play. And he looked quite happy. So when the writer saw the beautiful stone, he felt very happy. He thought that someone admired it. It means that person who praised him had sent a gift for him. He thought that, and with this thought, he became very happy, and he thought that he could now finish the play. Then what happened? The next day, the swallow flew down to the harbor. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailors working. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded. And when the moon rose, he flew back to the prince. I have come to bid you goodbye, he cried. So next morning the bird flew down to the harbor and sat on the mast of the ship. He spoke loudly that he was going to Egypt, and when it was night, the moon rose up. He came back to the prince. He told the prince that he had come there to say goodbye. Then because he was going to Egypt. Then what did the prince said? Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you not stay with me one night longer? Again the prince requested the swallow to stay with him for one night more. Then what happened? It is winter, answered the swallow, and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt the sun is warm on the green palm tree, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. So the swallow said that happy prince that the winter season had started, and after some time it would start raining, and it would start snowing, and the weather in Egypt is warm, and even the crocodile lay on the mud lazily there. So he told him that let him go to Egypt because he was not able to live in that cold weather. But the prince started his story. He is going to tell something else. He said that in the square below, said the happy prince, there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter, and they are all spoiled. Her father will beat her if he does not bring home some money. And she is crying. She has no shoes or stocking, and her little head is bare means uncovered. Now this was the third task that the prince is giving to the swallow. He said that there was a little match girl. She was a little girl, and all her matchsticks had fallen in the gutter, and she got upset. All her matchsticks were spoiled, so he could not sell them, and she would not earn money. And when she would go home without money, then her father would beat him. He would be angry with her, would beat her, and his father would be angry with her. And for this reason the girl was crying. He said the swallow that that girl was not wearing shoes or stockings, and she had not covered her head also. She was very poor. So he said the swallow to take out the another fire from his eyes and give that fire to that little girl, so her father would not beat her. So pluck my eyes, pluck my other eye and give it to her, and her father will not beat her. Then I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow, but I cannot pluck out your eye. You would be quite blind then. Swallow agreed to stay one night more, but he said that he refused to take out another fire from his eyes. He said that then he would be quite blind. Then the uh, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. Then again happy prince said the swallow that he should do whatever he had told him. So he plucked out the prince other eyes and darted down with it. He swooped past. Swoop means fly very low. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. So finally the swallow obeyed the prince and he took out the another fire from the eyes, and he flew to the little match girl, and when he saw the girl, he bent very low and kept the fire stone on the girl's hand. Then what a lovely bit of glass, cried the little girl, and she ran home laughing. So the girl became very happy to see the stone, and she went home happily. Now, then the swallow came back to the prince. You are blind now, he said, so I will stay with you always. No, little swallow, said the poor prince, you must go to Egypt. "No, I will stay with you always," said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. When the swallow returned back to the happy prince, he told him that now he was blind and so he would not go to Egypt and he would stay with him forever. But the prince said that swallow that he should go to Egypt, but the swallow refused to go and he would stay with him. He said that he would stay with him and he slept on the feet of the happy prince. All the next day he sat on the happy prince's shoulder and told him stories of what he had seen in the strange lands. "Dear little swallow," said the prince, "you tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the sufferings of the men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. And fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there." Then what happened? The swallow used to sit on the shoulder of the prince and he used to tell all the stories about the people and the places that he visited. But the happy prince sent that swallow to tell him wonderful things. But he said that these things he said that nothing was more wonderful, more marvelous than the suffering of the people. He said that no mystery was bigger than the sadness and the miseries of the people. He said that he wanted to know who all were sad in the kingdom of his. And so he asked the swallow to go and fly over the city and tell him now whatever he saw in the city. He wanted to know what he saw while flying over the city. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich man making merry in their beautiful houses while beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into the dark lanes and saw the people, white faces of the starving children looking out listlessly, means without any energy, at the black streets under the archway. Archway means an entrance or passage which is made in the form of an arc of the bridge. Two little boys were lying in each other's arms to try and keep themselves warm. "How hungry we are," they said. "You must not lie here," shouted the watchman, and they wandered out into the rain. So the swallow flew over the city and he took a round over the city and he saw that the rich men were living happily in their beautiful houses. They were arranging parties while the poor people were begging. They were sitting outside of the gates. Then he went to the dark lanes where there was no light and people lived there, and there he saw the children who were hungry and whose faces were white due to hunger. And after that he said that he saw two little boys under the archway of the bridge, and they were lying very close to each other, so they kept themselves warm. And they were so poor that they did not have any food, so they were lying there and they were trying to keep themselves warm. The children were starving, they did not have any food, but then a watchman came there and scolded them and shouted on them, and he made them to go away from there. And the poor children kept wandering in the rain and they were homeless. After that, then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. "I am covered with fine gold," said the prince. "You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy." So the swallow went back to the prince and he told him whatever he saw in the city. Then the prince said that swallow that his body was covered with fine gold and he could take tiny pieces of gold from his body and give it to the poor people. He said that living beings always require money, but when they will get the gold, they will be very happy. After that, leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier and they laughed and played in the street. "We have bread now," they cried. So slowly the swallow bird took the gold layers from the statue of the happy prince. As he removed the layers of the gold, the statue started being looking dull and grey, but The poor children, as the statue was looking dull, but the poor children's faces were happier because now they could buy food, they had food to eat. After that, after that, then the swallow came. Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. The streets looked as if they were made of silver. Everybody went about in furs. Furs are the clothes, woolen clothes which we wear in winter. We wear fur clothes in winter, woolen clothes. And the little boys wore scarlet, means red caps, and skated on the ice. So finally it started snowing, and it started falling snow. When a lot of snow fall, everything froze, and everyone was wearing warm clothes, clothes made of fur, and little boys were wearing red caps and roaming here and there, and they were skating on the ice. Then what happened? The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs, means pieces of the bread, outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. The swallow was feeling very cold, but he kept on sitting near the prince's statue. He did not want to leave him because he loved him so much. So the bird did not want to die, so he used to go to the bakery where the baker used to bake breads. He used to eat crumbs, means pieces of the bread, and he tried to keep himself warm by flapping the wings. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just enough strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. "Goodbye, dear prince," he murmured. "Will you let me kiss your hand?" So Swallow was aware that now he was about to die. He had only enough strength to fly back to the statue, and he said he wanted to say goodbye. So he said goodbye to the statue. He said that if he could kiss the hand of the happy prince. Then what happened? "I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow," said the prince. Prince thought that he wanted to go to Egypt, so he said that he was happy that finally he was going to Egypt. Further, he said that "you have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips, for means because I love you." The statue of the prince said that he had stayed there for a very long time, and now it should go to Egypt, and he wanted the bird that to kiss its lips instead of hands, because the statue also loved the bird so much. "It is not to Egypt that I am going," said the swallow. "I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep, is he not?" The swallow said that he was not going to Egypt, but the house of death. He said that the death was the brother of sleep, and what he did then? And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. So what the swallow did, he kissed the happy prince on his lips and fell down on the feet of the happy prince and died. So at the moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. The fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right in two. It certainly was a dreadfully hard frost. So as soon as the bird died, it fell on the prince's feet. An unusual sound came out from the statue. The sound was of the breaking of the statue's heart, which was made of lead. The heart broke into two pieces because of the death of that bird. But it is said that it was so cold that the statue broke into two pieces. But actually it broke because of the death of that kind bird. Then early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, He looked up at the statue. Dear me, how shabby the happy prince looks, he said. So the next morning, the mayor of the city, along with his counselor, was taking a round of the area where the statue of Happy Prince was erected. And when he crossed the statue, he looked up and he said that the statue of the Happy Prince was looking very dirty, very untidy. How shabby indeed, cried the town councillor, who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. The councillor always agreed with whatever the mayor said, whatever the mayor used to say, so they also agreed that the statue was looking very untidy. Then what the mayor said, the ruby has fallen out of his sword, the eyes are gone, and he is golden no longer, said the mayor. In fact, he is little better than a beggar. The mayor noticed that the ruby stone was placed in the sword, in the hilt of the sword, and it was missing. The sword was that ruby stone was missing, and the fires from his eyes were missing, and the golden layers from the body of the statue was also missing. Then what he said, that he said that it was looking, it seemed that as if it was the statue of a beggar. And councillors also agreed, little better than a beggar, said the town councillors. They also repeated the mayor's word, they also agreed. And here actually a dead bird, and here is actually a dead bird at his feet, continued the mayor. We must really issue a proclamation that birds are not to be allowed to die here. Here it is humor is created, that how can we say to the birds that don't die here. But the mayor is saying this, and the councillors are also agree. The mayor noticed that a dead bird was lying on the feet of the statue. Then he told told the town councillors that to pass an order that birds are not allowed to die on the feet of the statue. And the town councillors made a note of the suggestion of the mayor, and they write down. After that, then they melted the statue. So they pulled down the statue of the Happy Prince, as he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful, said the art professor at the university. The art professor of the university said that now the statue of the Happy Prince did not look beautiful, and it was not useful anymore, so they demolished the statue. After that, what happened? Then they melted the statue in a furnace. Furnace means a fireplace where the metals are melted. So they melted the statue of the Happy Prince in the furnace. What a strange thing, said the overseer. Overseer means supervisor of the workmen of the foundry, means workshop. So the supervisor noticed a strange thing. He said that what he said that this broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. We must throw it away. So they threw it on a dust heap where the dead swallow was also lying. So the supervisor of the foundry saw a strange thing, that the heart of the Happy Prince was not melting in the furnace. So he threw it as it is in the dust heap. Coincidentally, they threw the heart of the Happy Prince where the dead swallow bird was lying. Bring me the two most precious things in the city, said God, one of his angels, and the angel brought him the leaden heart and dead bird. You have rightly chosen, said God, for in my garden of paradise, this little bird shall sing for evermore, and in my city of gold, the Happy Prince shall praise me. The god asked one of his angels to bring him the most precious things of the city. The angels brought the two pieces of the heart of the statue and a dead swallow. Then God said that the angel said to the angel that he had brought the right things. He said that he had chosen the right things, because these were the most precious things of the city. He said that the bird would always sing in the garden of the paradise, and the Happy Prince would stay in the city of the gold and admire him. So dear students, this was the lesson. You have seen that it is very essential to help the poor and the needy people, and be sensitive towards them. And it very beautifully shows, this lesson very beautifully highlights that inner beauty is more important than outward beauty. So read the lesson again. Thank you.